All right. In this video, I'm going to go over exactly how I went from this to this. How do I look on camera? Doesn't look that bad. But it's basically my whole 1 year body recomposition journey. I'm going to go over everything that I did. Now, what is body recomposition, you may be asking?
It's pretty much an approach to weight loss. I was about 225 pounds consistently in each of those photos.
Basically, really just improve your physique, if I could just boil it down to like that. I'm gonna go over everything, right? So I'm gonna go over everything I ate, what I did with like alcohol, weed, my cheat meals, type of cardio I did, the importance of testosterone. I'm gonna go over my workouts, my supplements and recovery, and then at the end I'm gonna go over what I would do differently because this journey took about 1.5 years, but it could really have been done in about 3 or 4 months if you were just like real dedicated. But like I would say on average, maybe like 7 to 8 months without even trying that hard. Meals, right? I started eating 4 times per day. It's a lot better for like building muscle, right? So eating 4 meals per day, and I would have about 1 gram per pound of body weight. Now this is like the main thing that I would try to go for every single day. Like I didn't count my calories because I'm in college and the dining hall says they have the nutrition on their website. I actually checked. It's like half of the foods don't show the nutrition, doesn't show me calories. So I couldn't even like accurately track how much I was eating. I would just kind of just go off of how I felt and I would just eat based off of that, right? But every single time I ate, I would try to get like between like 50 and 70 grams of protein in each of my meals, right? And I would usually eat like natural foods. Like I didn't opt for any of like the processed foods. So, just like a lot of salmon, chicken breast, chicken thigh, ground beef, ground turkey, like a lot of like one ingredient things, and then I would like cook it when I would cook at home. But at the dining hall, I would try to go for the one ingredient things like the grilled chicken, the grilled asparagus. I just keep on eating that. But the things that weren't really like natural, like chicken pot pie, where they boil a lot of things together, I would just avoid that all the time, or most of the time. If I ate out, I would eat Chipotle. Like I ate a lot of Chipotle. I would drink a lot of water as well. Like I was drinking upwards of like 2 gallons of water per day. But yeah, junk food, I avoided it like the plague. I would only have it maybe Friday nights, if not Saturdays. The thing about like junk food, especially like takeout food, is that it's pumped up with a lot of fats, a lot of sodium, and a lot of carbs. And that sodium and carbs leads to a lot of water retention, which just made me all puffy, and I didn't really like how I looked. So I would just try and avoid the junk foods. Carbs, right? Carbs have my fast digesting carbs pre-workout, intra workout, and after my workout, right? Because I'll just have like quick energy, make sure I have a lot of energy for my workouts. And I would have my slower digesting carbs, so like potatoes, sweet potatoes and stuff. I would have that towards like the end of the day, like my last 2 meals of the day. I would eat slower digesting carbs. Alcohol. I've never gotten like really hungover before. Like I've had times where like I didn't feel that good the next day for like a couple hours in the morning, not even like an hour in the morning, and then it would kind of just like flush itself out. But that's probably because like my age, and also I drink a lots of water. That could be another factor. Yeah, I don't know if there's an external circumstance to that, but I'm just say what I did. I wouldn't drink every weekend. It would be like once a week, if not like once every other week, and then I would drink just to get tipsy. So like when you're tipsy, you kind of have like that social lubricant. You're just talking to everybody and it feels nice, but you're not like dancing to every song you hear. You're not going crazy. Like you don't look stupid, right? And I would just do that like once a weekend or once every other weekend. I also drink lots of water before, during, and after that drinking session. And I would never eat on an empty stomach. I'd always eat full, and then the alcohol makes me hungry, so I would eat even more food, and I would drink far from my bedtime. So let's say I went to bed at 12 in the morning, right? 12 a.m., midnight. I wouldn't drink any time after like 8 or 9 o'clock, right? Like I would never drink like at 11 o'clock if I know I'm going to bed in the next hour. Thinking about alcohol is that I was puffy for days. Like I was a lot of like water retention. My body was, I just didn't feel real confident when every time like my body would just be like just holding a bunch of water. It just didn't really look that good. Alcohol also has like a high calorie content. It's about 7 calories per gram of alcohol. Yeah, right now I rarely do it. So it's just not good for your physique. So I just barely do it now. Weed, right? Everybody knows about munchies, and every time I got munchies, I had no self control. Like I would be in that Wawa ordering multiple shakes, quesadillas, chicken tenders, burgers. I would eat all that shit, and it was bad. And obviously, that's gonna lead to horrible, horrible physique. Afterwards, I would actually wake up motivated for some reason. Like that, like that post nut clarity. Like guys, that post nut clarity you get after sex. It's like that, but like imagine like that morning sex post nut clarity. Now that shit is different. But yeah, I completely like quit it. I'm not gonna say I quit, but because I feel like if I say I quit, it's like I was doing it regularly before. Like I just tried it sometimes, didn't lead to good results, so I just moved away from it. Also, like when I was actually doing it, I was pretty lazy, just sitting down, just watching YouTube, Netflix, and I wouldn't do anything productive. Like I was just like it wasn't really worth it, right? I didn't really find it useful for anything. Cheat meals, I started introspecting on how I felt after I would eat some type of junk food. I just didn't feel that good. Like it didn't make me feel any better. Naturally, after I just started like really thinking about how I felt, really just like being within my body, it just naturally decreased. Like I used to eat junk food all the time. After I started paying attention to it and then realizing like, yo, I'm gonna look like shit after this. I'm gonna feel like shit and I'm gonna look like shit. And like that alone was just enough for me to just kind of just gravitate away from it. Also, I'm allergic to a lot of foods. Like I break out to pork, dairy, fried foods, soy. Stuff really just breaks me out. So I kind of just stay away from it. Cardio. I would just walk for about 10 minutes after all of my meals. And I also go on morning walks and nighttime walks. But I think for the average person, if they're struggling to get their steps in, just making it a habit of just walking for a couple of minutes after your meal, like just walking up and down the street a couple times, walking around the block, like just doing that after all of your meals makes it pretty easy to get your steps in for the day, for the week, whatever your goal is. And I would never like small things, but like I would never take the I would never take the elevator. Like I would always just take the stairs. Like that's another easy way to just burn some extra calories, and it's not that much effort. Just add it into your routine. Like if you just keep on doing it, you're just kind of gonna forget about that easy method. What you can also do is park far from your destination. I used to do this, and it just got annoying. Like, cause I would get my steps in regardless. Like I would do my morning walks, my nighttime walks. I would walk after my meals. So like getting my steps in wasn't a problem. But when I first started, I tried parking far from my destination, and that also allowed me to get some steps in. But it's like, I drove to this destination for a purpose. Like, I'm not trying to just waste a bunch of time just walking back and forth. But if you struggle, that is a good way to get your steps in. Like, you don't have to like do any of that, like that jogging. Only time I would actually jog is on my cheat days where I would be in a crazy surplus. So I just had a lot of energy available. So that just allowed me just to go to the park and just run around the track a couple of times because I just had the extra energy available. Like it was pretty easy to do that. But yeah, if you struggle with cardio, I would just suggest just walking, like a lot of walking. Like I said before, 10 minutes after your meal. So you eat 2, 3, 4 meals a day. That's an easy way to get like half an hour of walking. So testosterone, basically just to keep it short, one benefit of testosterone is increased muscle mass with decreased fat storage. So once I heard about that, it was like, bro, I gotta optimize this like crazy. Like I need, like if I'm trying to go for an aesthetics physique, I'm gonna need to increase my testosterone. I just looked up ways to do it naturally, and here are a couple like the most important ones that I've come across. Plastics. You want to try and avoid it as much as possible, especially plastic water bottles. So I have a metal a metal can, and I just filter my water through a Brita. I want to do reverse osmosis, but it's pretty expensive, so I just opted for the next best thing, which is a Brita. And yeah, I just fill up all my water in here. I avoid plastic water bottles, drinking all that BPA, BPS, all that stuff. Also, natural soap. I used to use like the bottled body wash. That's a lot of plastics just like that, especially when you're taking like a hot shower and all that hot steam is really getting the plastics into the bottle even more. Then you're rubbing it all over your skin too. So I just switched to bar soap. After that, I use I forgot the name of it, but it's like a natural soap. It's got like a special name to it, but it's just like a natural soap pretty much. Receipts. Now this is not like a huge thing, but apparently like receipts got this type of like powder on it that like disrupts hormones. So I just like avoid receipts like crazy. Like I would like use my shirt to like pick up receipts and shit. Like it would like, I would never really touch it. This one immediately I switched away from aluminum deodorant. Like just the whole like when I first heard about it, I did think like, yo, this stuff really stops your body from a natural process, which is sweating. Like antiperspirant deodorant, it would stop your body from doing what it's supposed to do, right? It would stop it from detoxing pretty much, just so you could not sweat, so you could not smell bad or whatever. And I was still using aluminum deodorant throughout the time, but now I really did some research on it, and it's actually very bad, right? So I switched to an not aluminum, a natural deodorant. I use. Do I have it? Oh yeah. This is the one I use. Arm& Hammer Essentials. It smells very good. I got a lot of compliments on it. Has a lot of natural ingredients in it as well. Yeah, just start using that. I think when I actually switched to this is polyester type of plastic, and when you have that shit like on your skin all day, it just seeps into your skin is your biggest organ, right? So when you just have it on your skin all the time, like those gym shirts, when you just have it on your skin all the time, it's like you're absorbing a lot of it. So now I just do mainly 100% cotton. Like I wear a tank top every day now. Now it's like warmer outside. I think the first day of spring was like a couple of days ago. But yeah, I just do 100% cotton t-shirts, tank tops. I have 100% cotton underwear. Shorts, I still have to like find some that are 100% cotton, but I just completely moved away from like that spandex, that polyester plastic. Oh, like nah. I just moved completely away from that. But yeah, those are my biggest things. Obviously, there's other things like sunlight and sunlight in your eye, being outside. In the supplement section of this, it did include vitamin D, so you could take vitamin D as well. Yeah, and those are other big factors like socializing, sex, also not watching porn. I'm gonna make a whole nother video on that too. But there's a lot of like other big things that contribute to increased testosterone. So my workouts, major change is that I started working out 6 times a week instead of every day. Before I would be working out every day, and I would work out like a power lifter, just lifting heavy weight every single day. And I was barely making any progress. I thought I plateaued, right? But the reason I do 6 a week now instead of every day is because when I was working out every day, I wasn't really going that hard. Like I wouldn't after my workouts, I didn't really feel any differently. Like even during the work, I wouldn't really feel any differently. So now instead, I train more intensely throughout 6 times in a week instead of training moderately 7 times a week. You get me? I also started doing like I did like a bodybuilding slash like athletic hybrid type of workouts. Like I was doing a lot more hypertrophy, and for the athletic one, I would do like explosive workouts. Like I would do like broad jumps, kneel jumps. I guess it's called. It's like kneel and then get on your feet and then jump. I would do a lot more sprints, and like I did like a lot more like high intensity like athletic training combined with bodybuilding, and that's what really transformed me like quickly. I also started doing ab training. Like I barely do like before I would barely do ab training. I would just think like, oh, I'm getting enough ab work from squatting. I'm getting enough ab work from sprinting and all that. And it's like you are getting some ab work, but my abs weren't really showing when I was doing that. Like I kind of just ignored it. And then it's like almost like a couple of weeks after I started doing like actual ab training is when I actually started seeing my abs a lot more. It was seeing a lot more. It was a lot more visible, especially focusing on the lower abs, doing stuff like hanging leg raises. That's what really got that like aesthetic look, right? And also, when I switched from powerlifting to bodybuilding, I started lifting a lot more weight. I guess my joints were finally like, yeah, finally. I could finally just do some light shit for more repetitions, and it just felt a lot better. And I started lifting a lot more weight. Like I would do strength training in the beginning of my workout. So like my first movement would be a compound movement for strength. Like I would do like 5 reps, 4 reps, and then 3 reps. And then after I started doing like more hypertrophy training, because that's what I do after my work after the compounds. So I started lifting a lot more weight a lot quicker, right? So that's kind of like what I changed within my workouts. So supplements. I'm gonna just go on the list. I take ashwagandha, tonkat ali, vitamin D, zinc, magnesium, and boron. Now I'm not gonna go into detail. You can just like look up what are the benefits of each one. But I take ashwagandha, tonkat ali, vitamin D, and boron for improved testosterone. The other one is just like zinc and magnesium is like something that every weightlifter should be taking. Vitamin D is what a lot of people who don't get a lot of sunlight should be taking. But yeah, those are supplements that I take. Recovery. I started sleeping about 8 to 9 hours each night. Any night that I got like underneath that, I would be weak as fuck the next day. I would be hungrier the next day. I started eating a lot of junk. I would eat like junk. Like honestly, if that's one thing I could recommend, is just get your 8 to 9 hours sleep each night. And I feel like that alone will just improve your life like crazy. If you feel like you're gonna get underneath that time, I would just supplement with magnesium and melatonin combined. And I'm telling you, it's like that sleep will have you feeling like you're dead. Like it's the most restful sleep when you combine magnesium and melatonin. I started stretching after all of my workouts. So that just helped. I just felt a lot better one doing it. Like the next day I wouldn't feel as sore, which in turn allowed me to lift a lot more weight. And I also did a sauna for 15 minutes. So like I would stretch in the sauna if I'm not like in there just chilling, because I just love the heat, right? But sauna 15 minutes after every workout. That's real simple. Yeah, it brings me to the end of the video. So, how long it took me about a year and a half. It was from November. I already like stamped it. It was like November 2021 to like April 2023. Yeah, that's like the time horizon. Things I would do differently. I would stop avoiding foods, right? I know I said before, like, I would avoid junk food because of the salt and all that, whatever. But just having that mindset where it's like, I can't eat this because it's bad. It kind of just led me to just wanting it even more, right? So instead I would think like not I wouldn't think like, I don't want it because it's bad. I don't want it because I'm gonna feel like shit eating it, right? And just like kind of connecting your own emotions to it allowed me to just or connecting my emotions to it allowed me to just not do it anymore, right? Or just reduce it a lot. Oh yeah, because it also led me to like binge eating, right? If I were ever like just cut out a certain food group, I would end up like binge eating at the end of the week. Also, I would stop binge drinking. By binge drinking, I mean just drinking to get drunk. So this would be like 9, 10, 11 drinks or shots. Because then you just become a fool of yourself and you look like shit the next day as well. Spend more time in solitude. By solitude, I mean more time just doing my own thing. Like I'll spend less time with. Cause a lot of people around me, they don't really like to work out as much as I do. They don't really like working out in general. Like the women that I've dated, a lot of friends that I have, they don't really take it as seriously as I do. So by more time in solitude, I mean like spend more time just with myself, doing my own thing. And I felt like when I was doing that, I would just have unlimited time for the gym. I would have unlimited time to just really just do my own thing. I could spend as much time as I want on my workout. But don't get me wrong, I do like having a partner sometimes because sometimes the gym does get a little repetitive. Yeah, I would just say spend more time in solitude. Like I wouldn't try to have all my time being around other people. Right now, I would say finding a gym partner of equal or greater ability, right? I said equal in level, but what I really mean is like kind of just ability. Like, do you have the ability to go to the gym 6 times a week? Do you have the ability to be training for 2+ hours? Do you have you know what I'm saying? It's like, do you have the ability to lift as much weight as I do? Like, are you as committed to it as I am? It's like, if I can find someone with that mentality, I think, like, one, it would help me out and it would help them out. And we would just kind of like iron sharpens iron. Like, we would just both be bringing each other up. Yeah, that's the end of my. Is it recording? Yes, it's recording. I recorded this whole thing once already. I got up all the way until like the testosterone part, and then I checked my computer and it wasn't recording. So that is my first YouTube video, and honestly, it's not as bad as I expected. Yeah, face on cam, got this like bougie ass, not bougie, like booty ass lighting. Like I got a lamp just facing my face, but fuck it. Feeling great. Like I said, that cringy shit like, subscribe, all that shit. But yeah, plenty more videos to come. Probably gonna cut all this out, but I'm probably gonna spend a lot of time editing this video as well too. But the secret to getting ahead is getting started. Catch y'all.